Okay.
Here you've got the Trader Joe's pizza dough. Now, the most important thing to remember to do is to preheat the oven to 475 degrees before you do anything else. That's very important. Did you already do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's already been done. So that's how you know this is a well-oiled machine, you know? Next up, you want to open up the dough. Do we have scissors, or am I going to...
I think you should bite it.
No. This is a serious program. Come on. This is not one of those freaking road show circuses, you know, that you see around town. This is trying to run a legitimate business here, you know. Okay. So you want to take some flour. The most important thing working with dough is
you need to chat. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's maybe best if I don't have it, but.
Oh, you think so? Here, I'll read what's good.
Yeah, read some good messages out.
Okay.
You can be the chat. You can be kind of like the translator between the chat and the, you know, the delicate genius that is, you know, the chef.
Big Tendy said, "Can you read this one?"
Yeah. Yes, I can. Now, the most important thing when you're working with dough, you need to make sure that you have a base of flour at all times. Otherwise, it's going to be sticking. It's going to be sticking a lot, and you don't want that. So basically what you're going to do is just take like a little handful, kind of spread it out, you know, kind of get your surface ready, you know, for the work that you're going to be doing. Now, I guess I should probably do this now.
470 Fahrenheit.
Do we have those? Okay, here's the tray.
The tray.
Can you put some?
Yes, I can
foil?
prep it. Yes, sir.
Prep the foil, please. Okay, so you need to do that. You're gonna need that later. That's important, you know. But this is a cooking show. You can't go through every step, you know. Otherwise, we'd be here all day, you know, right? Like I've been prepping this pizza since this morning. So here's what you have. You've got your pizza dough. Now this is good for 2 pies. And what you're going to want to do is just kind of, you know, maybe just eyeball it. Say what's about half. You know what I mean? Does that look to be about half and half?
Yes.
I agree. So usually you end up with one pie that's maybe a little bigger than the other pie. It's okay, folks. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? We're all family here. Roller is going to be that's going to be a big problem for me if we don't have the roller.
Sorry, yes, chef. They got mad at me.
Yeah, you have to say yes, chef. Very important.
How many ounces are in a pound?
Ounces?
Yeah.
In a pound?
Yeah.
12 ounces are in a pound. Now, where's that darn pizza roller? What is going on with that?
You're the dishes. You have to know where it is. You do the dishes. It's 16 ounces.
I always
also.
put it in here.
Oh,
that is not good. Did we use it recently? Oh, no, you were making cookies. Did you use it for that?
It's right here.
Ah. That pesky thing.
You ate all the cookies? That's okay if you did. I just didn't know.
There's only 3 in there.
These are, I made these. Good. Pumpkin, oatmeal, chocolate chip.
Okay, so you got, you know, your dough. It's looking beautiful. You got a beautiful little ball right there, right? So here's what you do. You got to start prepping it to be flattened out. Put it down. And then that's when you start rolling. And, you know, it's good to have a not so shaky surface for this. You know what I mean? Because any surface that's going to be slipping and sliding on you, it's not reliable and it's not going to work. Not for me. Not in my kitchen, pal. So you want to just get it as round as possible. And listen, if you don't have a cutter, it's not going to be perfect. That's the reality, okay? That's what Big Pizza doesn't want to tell you. Okay, they want to lie to your fucking face. They want to bring a pizza to your house. It's a perfect circle every time. No, they're using a cutter. They're juicing, okay? They're flubbing the numbers a little bit. Don't fucking cheat yourself, okay? It's okay if it's not a perfect circle every time. You know, it's going to have a little bit of imperfections. It's going to be a little bit uneven here and there. But, I mean, look, that's life, you know? This is cooking, you know? This is jazz. Okay, it's free form. It's free flowing. And frankly, you should treat it that way at home when you're making this delicious pie. Whether it be tomorrow, you know, the next day, the day after that. It's an important aspect of working in the kitchen.
The roller is so small because I used to have another one and I lost it, I think, when we moved. And like that's just like a mini one that I have for like cookies and stuff like that. So Will has big Swedish chef energy. This is me high as hell telling someone about the pizza I ate. Love the chill Alex Jones vibes. Where's the hairnet? Did you wash your hands before you started this?
Yes! Of course I did.
Yeah, he washed them outside when he let Mochi
What
up.
question is that? What the f***? Ban that guy from the channel. See, is there
Yes.
oil in this? Is this
no
prepped?
Chef. No chef. It's
So an
prepped
important
chef,
thing is you need to put a little oil down, okay? It's very important. You got to put a little oil down. You know when your pizza's sticking. You know what I mean? Trust me, when this thing goes in the 500-degree brick oven that we got installed, I mean, listen, you're going to want to make sure that there's a little oil between the dough, the flour, and the surface.
Well, the oil makes the crust also. It's what makes it crispy.
Oh, we'll get there.
Jägermeister. You can rub it in with a paper towel. It's faster.
So you can rub in the oil if you're in a bind. If you're kind of in a rush. I mean, me personally, I'm not in no rush. But, you know, for the sake of entertainment, to move on with the segment, you know, we'll rub this in. You can't really see it. We'll rub this in with a little oil. It's fine. You know, you get the idea. We're rubbing. You see that? That's olive oil. Okay. Before any of you perverse freaks start saying, you know, your little disgusting comments. Okay, your little bathroom humor that you love to do. Yeah. Okay. It's oil. Okay, something you probably know nothing about because you haven't been in the kitchen.
I just watched it back. Will handing you the piss wipe.
Okay. See, that's.
Can someone just make that a GIF emote and just make the whole title of it Will handing you the piss wipe?
The thing is, don't do that because listen, I'm not Will. I'm the chef first and foremost. Okay, there is no Will. He doesn't exist. At least not during this segment. Okay. Now, you'll probably notice that's a rather clean cutting board you have there, right? Well, you take a little more flour, and you know you maybe shake it out on there so that you know your surface is once again prepped. And you know when you go to tackle your next half of your pizza pie dinner, then this feels a little lighter than the other half. I might have messed up.
That's fine. I want the small one.
That's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? It's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to necessarily be an exact half and half. You know what I mean? And this is where you get into the second half of your meal. Okay? So you get a little, beginning action. It helps. You don't need it, but it definitely helps if you have a nice, not shaky surface, when you're doing this. But, either way, in my professional opinion, you can get the job done, at least when you have as much experience in the kitchen as I do. I don't know, you at home, you might suck. Okay, you might be fucking terrible at this. So, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, Mason, this is the pizza Will's ordering you.
I will send Mason this pizza by air mail.
You should just throw it like a disc. Daryl.
This one, see, once it gets fine enough, sometimes it's very, very hard to even get it to be wider. It starts to be fine. You're like, I need a little more. I need a couple extra inches. That's when you're going to want to throw it up in the air, give it a few good whirls, because the air, it acts as, gravity works. The gravitational pull is going to pull that pizza in every direction. And it's going to get it to be wider and thinner than you could ever dream. Then you just go in and do a couple little, finishing touches, and you got yourself your second delicious pizza pie, part 2 of your pizza pie dinner. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Lovely. You want to throw that down, same as the first, make room. If they overlap a little bit, you might have to do some rearranging. Maybe, move the foil around a little bit. And what you got? Two, dare I say, lovely pieces of dough. Okay, so what's next? You're gonna want to apply your toppings, your condiments. Every good pizza, what does it need? It needs cheese. It needs sauce, right? Today, we're making a little special recipe, a little family recipe. A little prosciutto, a little balsamic glaze, a little arugula. But we'll get into that now. We're going to put on the toppings here. Let me move this. This is just not needed, That, we'll clean it up, all right? Clean up is part of the meal, I always say. All right, so we're going to need some cheese, and we're
a little low on cheese.
That's okay, listen.
To be fair, you barely use a lot of cheese on yours.
That's all good.
We also have fresh Parmesan, so I say...
I guarantee I can make do, listen.
I would do fresh Parmesan.
When I was head chef for the platoon back in Vietnam, we had to make do with what we had, And it wasn't much. You weren't getting a delicious gourmet double pizza pie like you do these days. You know what I mean? Trust me. Yeah, you might want to move this. I'm sorry. Move these out of the way so the good people can see the what's happening here. So here's what we want to do. Basically, with the sauce, this is the pizza sauce, right? You're gonna wanna. This is homemade. Tomato and roasted garlic. I made the label.
Bad bitches know rouse.
Yeah.
Bad bitches know that if you don't want to cook pasta sauce, you're not in the mood, which I never.
Well, Rouse, that's the brand of jar that we use to hold our homemade sauce. So you basically just want to, slap a little of that sauce down on there. You're going to use the flat end of the spoon, like so, to kind of evenly, as best you can, evenly kind of spread it around the pie. Okay, so your pie is going to be, this is a base. This is going to be, when you bite into it, this is going to be the last thing you taste, right? This is going to be the last little piece of flavor that you get. So you want to make sure that it's evenly distributed so that every bite, comes out perfect. Otherwise, you're going to have a saucy bite. You're going to have a dry bite. It's going to be terrible. So you got to make sure you very evenly distribute this, leaving, depending.
The last thing I taste, my ass.
It's going to be the last thing you taste. Trust me. You're going to want to leave maybe a, half of an inch, quarter of an inch, depending on the size of the pie. And I'll tell you why later, but you don't want to go the whole pie covered in sauce. Otherwise,
dude, I saw this.
It's not going to work out. Trust me.
I saw this clip today. A girl that streams just chatting. It was a commercial break. I saw this clip today. It was this girl. She streams just chatting. And she interviews people on her stream. And this guy is sitting down. They're all sitting down. They're all talking. And he stands up, and his uncircumcised, flaccid penis is just in the camera. And then he itches his privates, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, my balls itched." And then she screams so loud, like a horrific scream, like she just saw someone die. It was so fucking.
And I find that to be kind of fucked up because honestly, listen, tell my uncut kings at home, you just know the chef is with you. You know what I mean? Listen, you can cut a slab of meat any way you want. But listen, everyone knows what the sweetest cut of meat is, and that is an untouched, unscathed, unbutchered, unmutilated, cut of meat. So just know if you're at home that this meal goes out to you, all my uncut kings. Now, you may run into an issue when you're cooking a nice.
Doug, add that now, please.
A nice pizza pie when you're cooking it. You might accidentally spill some sauce
add that
on the outside, but don't panic. This sauce is completely edible and delicious too. Just going through here, you know what I mean? Having a nice little day, having a nice little stroll. Just, some people find it to be cathartic to cook a nice pizza pie. And I agree with them. I think it's a great time. I think it's fun for the whole family.
Could you maybe, I'll ask later.
Now, I'm almost done here with the sauce portion. I'm going to give you guys a quick update. Me, I like mine a little saucy, so maybe you at home, you like it a little different. Listen, everyone's different. Every pie is different. No two pies in the history of mankind. They're like snowflakes. They're never the same. You see this? It's like a strand of DNA right there. You know what I mean? Delicious. Okay. So we're going to move on to the cheese. Now, I've got fresh cut mozzarella, from the farm, obviously. And,
Mozzarella?
Oh, this is the mozzarella. I'm sorry. What is this? Is the Parmesan Pecorino?
No, it's regular Parmesan.
Okay. Interesting. Now, you could use either one. Which one would you like on yours? I mean, I think this is enough.
I'm going to use mozzarella and then just do a little bit of fresh.
Okay, listen. I mean, whatever the customer orders.
People are asking if Fromunda is available. If you have that on the farm, Fromunda.
If Fromunda?
Yeah, cheese. If you have that cheese.
I could check the pantry, I suppose, but no, I don't think we have any Fromunda. Listen, I come from the professional world, so I don't really know this gas station, CVS type of cheese that you guys buy. But listen, we only use the most fresh of mozzarella in this house. So yeah, why don't you shove it? Anyways, so you're gonna want to put on your cheese, just a light little layering, a light sprinkling is what I like to call it. You want to just make sure you get a base, much like the sauce. You know what I mean? This is going to be the body of the pizza. This is going to be the body of the pizza. So you want to make sure it's also evenly distributed. It's fluffy. It's nice. You know what I mean? And you're going to need to just, be careful with this part because you can't overdo it and you can't underdo it. So I would just say, use your best judgment. Maybe you're going to fuck up the first few times you make a nice pizza pie. You might fuck it. You might make just a disgusting pie the first few times. It might suck. It might be terrible. You might throw up, or maybe your kid throws up, maybe. Gets sick, you can't go to school. You know what I mean? Stays home the next day. You have to stay home from work. I mean, and then you're home from work. You're just watching this fucking kid all day. It's boring. He's watching Napoleon Dynamite again. And it's just it's not fun for anyone. You know what I mean? So make sure you're careful with the cheese, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Just be careful. I mean, you don't want to be stuck at home. No. I mean, look, work's not great, but it definitely beats this. You know what I mean? It beats sitting at home all day with this fucking kid, being like, oh, can I check your temperature? Like, no one wants to be doing that. So, we are just about completely out of cheese. And, gonna have to maybe just pile on the extras.
Yeah.
Spread it out myself. And maybe
Sounds like it's based from experience, not gonna lie.
What?
What somebody said in chat.
Well, yeah, this whole recipe is based on experience. I'm a very experienced chef. The other stuff? What other stuff?
I don't know.
People online, they just say whatever. It just doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Well, so we're gonna need a cheese grater, real quick. This one, quality, industrial grade. Forged steel. This thing, you could hit this thing with an SUV and it would just go right over it. It'd be perfectly fine. I mean, this is a high quality piece of machinery and it should be treated as such, okay? This is a very dangerous thing. You definitely want to make sure that your hand is a safe distance away from the grater because, listen, well, let's just say when I used to work at, Otto's Pizza, we had this guy there named Paul, and well, he may have lost a limb or two on the cheese grater, but anyways, you just want to make sure that you're careful when you work with dangerous machinery like the industrial cheese grater. Now, would you like some Parmesan on yours? You would? Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to steal some of this off the top just to make sure that we're evenly distributed. I'll get you a little bit of Lovely. Okay, so we got that. That's perfect. I think that's going to be very good. You just want to make sure the cheese, we have to also think about with the cheese. It's going to melt. It's going to spread. It may seem like not enough. It may seem like too much, but again, that's just something you're going to have to do. You're going to have to experiment with, find what works best for you. I mean, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day, but they did invent pizza there. It's a little known fact. Put that away. Now, what you want to do next, this is a very important step. I guess I'll show you the cheese. You know, this is the, you guys can see the cheese, right? You see this? Lovely, lovely. Everyone's having a good time. Next up, the prosciutto. This is the meat, okay? This is going to be like, you know, maybe not the body, but this is going to be the first thing you taste, right? When you bite into that delicious pizza pie. So this, you want to, I would say, distribute it. Distribute it. Distribute it liberally, you know, throughout the dish. Okay, it's very important. So here's the method that I like to use when I'm, you know, distributing my prosciutto. So you take a slice, right? You're gonna get a little piece of wax paper, you know, and it's gonna smell good, but you don't eat this. Okay, trust me, you don't eat this. This purely ornamental. Okay, you take the wax paper off. Don't eat that. Seriously. Anyway, so then you're gonna want to take this and roll it up. See, like this. Maybe some of you weed smokers at home, you know what I'm talking about with this. You're gonna want to take your prosciutto, roll it up like this. Okay, correct? Do you see? And the best way to distribute this across the pizza, you're gonna want to take a pair of scissors and, you know, just kind of cut a little, just an inkling, a shaving, if you will, off at the end. And you're going to get a nice little rolled up piece of prosciutto on your pizza, right? Boom. I'll show you what the little piece looks like. Do you see that? It's like a little bloomed rose. Look at that. It's delicious. It's layered. It has all the juices of a delicious, you know, preserved meat, right? So here's what you're going to do. You want to do that. I mean, the amount of prosciutto, I like to do 2 slices.
Is that the clit? And it's just you holding up something that actually looks like a clit. That's so fucking funny. Someone make that a gift too, or someone make that a gift.
And don't make that a gift, because that's
please
perverse. That's fucked up and perverted, in my opinion.
Someone make it. Someone make Will. I can't think of a name. Will shows you the clit. Please.
And you don't have to make that an emote, because listen, let's face it, you know, you're online. Maybe you make some sick joke, but I'm a professional. You know, this is my career we're talking about. So I mean, if you make that emote of me, you know, in the, you know, the vagina, as so to speak, we're gonna have a problem, okay? And you don't want to make that emote because this is my livelihood. I'm a chef, and if anything happens to my job, I'll know it was you. So, anyways, I'm gonna take your second piece for sure. How many pieces for sure would you like?
I do like 1.5. 2.
You want 1.5?
Sure.
Okay, 1.5. I'm gonna do 2 on mine. Okay, that's just me though.
I'll have 2 then.
You'll have 2? Hey, the more the merrier, I say, with the prosciutto. So you're gonna roll up your second piece. Look at that.
I roll it sideways.
You roll
because it's more. How do I explain this? Less compact meat and more meat all over.
Sideways. Guess I never thought of that. So you're gonna want to roll your prosciutto up. You know, you maybe take it sideways like this, like so. I mean, of course, this is a technique I've seen before. I've seen it all. So obviously, I know about the sideways prosciutto. We've all seen it, right? Hot, flashy, new on the town. You know, everyone thinks it's the new cool thing to do. So you're gonna take your prosciutto. It's rolled up. You got that, and you're gonna want just same thing, just shavings, just little pieces. You get more mileage out of the same piece of prosciutto. I can take a piece of prosciutto and just eat the whole thing, but it's a waste. That's wasted calories. You know what I mean? You get so much more mileage out of a piece of prosciutto if you cut it up into little tiny pieces. Okay, it's much better this way. Trust me. You get much more out of your prosciutto. So you're gonna roll up a piece sideways, like so. Okay. I think 1.5 is good, maybe, because I kind of messed up now. How do you feel about 1.5 pieces of prosciutto? You don't care? Okay. If you don't mind, it's fine. You're going to take this, make a few cuts. Just shavings off the end. You guys know the drill. We've talked about the prosciutto quite a bit. It's probably the premier part of the meal at this point, though, right? So you want to be careful. You want to make sure you don't mess this up because, listen, the prosciutto can make or break the meal. It's a very important part. So you got to make sure this is the best part. This is what people are going to taste when they first bite into it. They're going to taste that succulent slice of beautiful preserved meat, okay? Right? Here, I'll just give you some of these because I think I did 2 on mine. It's perfect. How's that? How's that look to you? Looking good? All right, so here's it. Here's the pies with the prosciutto on. Now listen. This is about the point where you want to put it in the oven. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. The oven's not preheated yet. So in the meantime, this is some optional technology. It is preheated? Okay, well, this is some optional technology for the kids at home, You're going to want to take your California Ranch olive oil, right? And this is the best kind you can get. This is the best kind money can buy. You're going to want to make sure, maybe screenshot that. You're going to want to make sure you buy this brand, extra virgin, smooth and balanced medium California the global blend. Maybe it's not California. It says Argentina and Portugal, Chile. 10% California cold pressed. You want this. This is the kind, okay? So make sure your hands are clean for this, obviously. But you're going to take a little bit and just kind of do one of those. And you're going to use this to delicately make a crust on the outside of the pizza, okay? This is a very important part. I cannot stress this enough. This is a very important part of the recipe. So, you're making a crust. Is there a problem? Is there a problem? So you're going to take the crust. And listen, you know what I mean? Again, it's jazz, it's cooking, anything can happen. When you're in the kitchen, you never know. A rabid dog is going to come up and just start, getting up in your face, right? So you need to be prepared for these types of situations, okay? Obviously, anything can happen. It's the kitchen. Things get crazy in here. People say things they don't mean. I mean, trust me, it happens. My boss Martin, back at Pizzeria Otto, I mean, he told me I was no good. He said I was good for nothing, and that I would never make it in this industry.
You have to get the pan thing in there. Can you open that?
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting something. Like the press.
Oh, yeah. Here, you're gonna want to. This is a very important part of the recipe. I think you're definitely gonna need this. You can't have a pizza without one of these bad boys. You good?
Yeah, sorry. I was laughing because he's crawled in there. He loves it in there. I don't know why. Sorry.
I didn't know what you were doing. I didn't know you were doing a joke. I was like, what am I forgetting? I think he has a little olive oil on him now. You might want to... Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. You might have just a tiny bit from my fingertip. Anyways. So you're going to want to continue to do this. What was I talking about? And it's not important. We are going to just finish up this one, and I'll give you a little view. This. So what this does, if you put a little bit on the outside, just a little olive oil, a little coating, right? When it's in that brick oven, that I had installed $80,000, it's going to be burning the edges, right? It's going to what we call caramelize in the business. So if the edges have a little bit of oil on them, it's going to make a delicious crust. They're going to puff up a little bit like that. Like the pizza pie you get at a nice gourmet restaurant, like. Little Caesars, Papa John's, that type of thing. I don't know if you guys have that. The local pie, wherever you're from. You know what I mean? whatever the local mom and pop pie is where you live. But this is going to ensure that you have a lovely, even crust, which I would say is a staple of a pizza. You can't have a pizza without the crust. You know what I mean? It's simply a ridiculous concept to me. And the fact that, they're doing thin crust, they're doing thick crust, whatever. They're doing no crust. This is deep dish nonsense. You know what I mean? That's not a pizza. That's practically a lasagna. You know what I mean? I've been making pizza for 35 years. You think I don't know? You think I'm going to look at that and believe you and you say, oh, no, it's a deep dish pizza? No, it's not. Okay? No, it's fucking not. So anyways, this is just about ready. You're going to pop this bad boy into the oven for, I don't know. Let me take a look at the thickness on these. 10 minutes. Definitely 10 minutes. You can just tell. And again, this is something you're going to have to experiment with. You'll make some pies. You might fuck up here and there. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's learning. Life is a learning experience, they say, So, next thing you're going to want to do is pop these suckers in the oven. And I'm going to do that now because it's going to be very hot, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared, and we're going to be fine. We're just going to pop these in there, okay? It's going to be great. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Very important part. What do you think, 10 minutes? What do you think, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Double check on this. Now, we have time for some questions. I guess while we wait, we have some time for questions. Let me just double check. 8 to 10 minutes, it says. Now, a very important part of being in the kitchen is cleanup. Okay, cleanup. Remember, cleanup is
essential.
It's part of the. What did I say earlier? Part of the meal, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my god! Wait, it's an emote. Let's go.
Okay, so here's what we want next. You're gonna want to clean up a bit. Okay, you gotta take your flour.
I'm reading it, Doug.
You're gonna want to take your flour, dump it into the sink. Okay. Douse it in water, because the flour, if you don't douse it in water, it's going to stick to the bottom of the sink, and it's going to grow little organisms, little communities of germs in the bottom of the sink. It's going to be disgusting, okay? And then you're going to get sick. And who knows what could happen? I'm not going to say what, but you know what could happen when you get sick, right? So you're going to want to make sure you take your cutting board, or whatever surface you used, and just rinse it really good, okay? This is very important. Rinse it really good. So I'm going to be doing this over here. Listen, you don't need to see the sink. Come on. I mean, you guys don't need to see. It's fine. You don't need to see the sink. It's all good. Just trust me. It's spotless. It's clean. Trust me.
How are you going to get the pizza out of the oven? What do you use?
Oh, you'll see when we get there. A couple of nice mitts. Was that a question from the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay, lovely.
Well, they're asking you to show them.
To show them in there?
Yeah, the tool. No, the mitts that you use.
Show the mitts.
Yeah. Get the mitts ready.
Okay, we'll get the mitts ready. And like an odd demand,
from an. Can you do like a declaw spec with those?
A declaw spec with these.
Your best declaw spec that you could do.
Well, I mean, they're a little small for me. If
like
you see, like my hands barely can. I can barely fit in them. How's that?
That was good.
Is that good?
I think mine was way better, but that was good.
Okay.
Like, honestly, for someone that plays that much RuneScape, don't you only do it twice? And maybe you do it 4 times, actually.
Who's to say? Man, what do I know? I'm just a chef. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's 4 times.
I don't know much about video games, me personally, so. The only game I play is the game of the kitchen. The game of life, really, is what I like to call it, but some of you guys wouldn't know. I wish you could know what it's like to be in a kitchen, you know what I mean? To be on the line, being a line cook, being a server even, the food industry, you know, it's I mean, it's war out there. You know what I mean? So you're gonna put your prosciutto away. I just fold it up, put it in a bag. This keeps it fresh. Listen, it's locked in. It's Ziploc seal technology. Okay, that's good for 8 months right there. It's preserved. Take this garbage. You know, take this garbage. This spoon, I just throw them away. I don't really. I mean, listen, I don't have time to do dishes. Just throw it in the trash. It's not important. So you're gonna take that. Throw all these out.
Hi, quick question. Some say life is a highway. Do you agree with this statement?
Some say life is a highway.
Yeah.
Pal, life is a boulevard. Okay, it's barely even 2 lanes. Okay, a highway. I mean, come on. I'll tell you what, pal. Life is a fucking dirt road in the back street. Okay, where you get taken after school and beaten up every day. 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. Switch schools. There's a new dirt road. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th. You switch schools again. 9th grade. Your dad, he gets sent out to the military. You got to move again. You live in Hawaii now. 10th grade. It's a dirt road, but it has beautiful flowers growing on either side of it. You know, like a little Hawaiian. 10th grade, 11th grade. You know what I mean? That's what life is. Okay, I'll tell you what. So you put the cheese away, you know, you put the sauce away. This is all very important. You don't want to leave a mess, okay? That's an important thing because, you know, some other chef is going to come in here and listen, if they find out that you left everything out, I mean, you're never going to work in this town again. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. Unfathomable that, you know, got to put everything away. It's very important. Very important to put everything away. Take this. This goes in the fridge. It's homemade. It's got to stay fresh. You know, it's sealed. All that good stuff. Lovely. Okay, and then you got this. You got your cheese. You got your prosciutto. And this. I mean, it can just go anywhere. It doesn't matter. You know, throw it in there. It's not important. So, any questions so far in the evening?
Someone wants to know. Pineapple on pizza. What are your thoughts?
Pineapple on pizza. Listen, I used to be like you. I used to hate it. You know, I used to find it to be disgusting. It was, frankly, just out of the question. You know, I was young. I didn't know. My eyes hadn't been opened yet. I hadn't tried things, right? But, you know, when your dad gets sent off to the military, you have to move to Hawaii. And, you know, outside of that dirt road where those kids beat you up every day after school, what is there? A little pizzeria. Okay, and you go in there and they see your wounds. They see your scars, you know? You've been beaten down. You're hurting on the inside and on the out, especially on the out. Because, I mean, those kids, they're strong. Listen, I was young, so listen, I didn't know about, you know, kung fu yet. But they were strong kids. Anyway, so the pizzeria owner, maybe he gives you a little slice. And in Hawaii, that's the only pizza they eat. Some people don't know. That's why it's called Hawaiian pizza, you know? They love it. It's their favorite food. And, I mean, they eat it, I would say, 3 times a day, you know? So that's what you get. You know, you're recovering. You can feel it. And the endorphins are firing at this point. You're like, this is what it is. This is what safety is. This is the nest. You know, this pizzeria is the only place where they can't get.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
It's the only place they can't get me. And that, to me, is what Hawaiian pizza is. It's pineapple on pizza. It's the perfect meal. It's salty. It's sweet. It's delicious. I mean, it's to think that it's not good would. I mean, you're not a chef, clearly. That's what it says to me, personally. You can never be a chef. You wouldn't make it a day in this business. Any questions? Any more questions, concerns before we get this? Got about 2 minutes before the pizza comes out, and then I'm going to listen.
Thoughts on people who are allergic to pineapple?
People that are allergic to pineapple. I mean, look. I mean, when I first started learning kung fu, I couldn't kick. You know, I couldn't get my foot up to the ceiling. You know, to do a high jump kick. Of course, yeah. I mean, listen. I mean,
jump kick.
Like I couldn't get it up. So I mean, you can't let your body get in the way of happiness. You know what I mean? So I think you just eat it anyway. Personally, I mean, if it's me, If I'm allergic to pineapple,
Mochi.
there's only one thing to do. Now, I'm not as surprised I used to be, but listen, I mean, I won some tournaments back in the day. It's something funny.
I couldn't get it up, Will.
Listen, I couldn't. That's true. The truth. When I first started doing kung fu, it wasn't until I opened my mind to the world of positive energy that I learned how to execute the moves to win the tournament and the belts. That's just me. Listen, we got about 1 minute. If you guys have been, any more questions there at home? You know what I mean?
Can Will hit the gritty?
Not sure what that is.
Can you hit the woo?
I don't know the woo.
Okay.
I more know the gritty is just doing this over and over again, really. Because some guy did it in the football game, and everyone was laughing at him because he messed it up terribly. And so now I see that on television, I think, listen, I'm going to completely make a fool of myself if I attempt to do such a thing. So it's best for me to just not do it, because I don't want to end up like that guy in the football game. He got hit really hard later, and it's probably because he messed up the dance.
Can you believe they're back together after all that shit?
Who?
My ass cheeks.
That's just a sick joke, really. Really. This is a kitchen. You can't be made. Here's the thing. Save that humor for the bathroom. Okay, that's what I have to say to you. You know what I mean? The bathroom humor, it doesn't belong in the kitchen. You know what I mean? When I hear someone make a joke like that in my kitchen, I just want to take them. I just want to let them know that there's... Oh, I guess the timer's done. Timer's done. Lovely. So you're going to want to press the timer button on there. And take these... All of these puppies look good, let me tell you. Wow. They look nice. And when I say they look nice, look at those. Look at those bad boys. Wow. What a couple. What a couple of perfect buys we got here. Let me give you the two. Take a look at the volume. That's what you want when you make a buy right there. You want to see some volume. That's what you want. That's how you know you've made a delicious pizza pie for two.
You can pop that. You can pat it, man. Yeah, there you go. Two more pizza.
Listen, that's a delicious pie right there. But hey, I want everyone to know at home. Just because the mitts come off.
They're asking what caused that to happen.
What caused it? It'd just be me being a good ass chef, I guess. Honestly, that's what you want. People don't realize this, but back in ancient Rome, when they invented pizza, that was a sign of great wealth. The bigger the bubble, the greater the man, really, is what they would say. So what you want, listen, you can pat it down. In modern culture, of course, after it comes out of the oven, you can pat it down, you can poke it, you can do whatever you want. But in ancient times, this was how you knew it was a good pizza. And this one had two bubbles in it. This would belong to a king back in the day, is what I'm trying to say. This would be the food of a great deity, the food of a god, even. The dog has had dinner, and she's now going to get a midnight snack. Oh, and she saw me in the reflection in the mirror, and now she thinks that there is some sort of evil villain in the house. That's just lovely. Okay, listen, I got a little dinner for you. Is this gonna solve all your problems? Go ahead, you addict.
Wait.
And listen, that's another satisfied customer of the chef. You know, the chef's homemade. You leave the camera. What? Us watching? Yeah, we were both like, oh my god. This is like unseen footage. Like this is like never before seen. Like this could be on like animal. We should sell this. If we're being honest, I mean this is worth $1 million. Okay, the pizza's not done, please. I mean, enough course around. It's gonna get cold, and then it's gonna be disgusting, and then you know it. You know, I don't have to go through the whole diet again.
Sorry. Okay, what next, chef?
You thought the pizza was done, did you? You can put it back down, it's fine. You don't have to hold it. That's just brutal work. No, I want to be able to see myself. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Does that work?
Yeah.
So you thought the pizza was done, didn't you? Wrong. Again, this is why you'll never work in a kitchen. All right. 2 final ingredients. Wild arugula, fresh picked from the yard. Just knocked it over. And a nice balsamic glaze from Trader Giotto's. A little local joint, you know, that sells.
Do you have any other recommendations? Like any places that are maybe similar, like they know him, but they make other kinds of food from different places?
I think those places have all closed since, you know. No, I don't think I can name any. I think Trader Giotto is really the only one. I think all the other places have closed, except for obviously Trader Joe's, which, listen, don't go in there, okay?
No, Trader Jose isn't even the bad one. It's fucking, I don't even want to say it. It's so fucking bad.
Let's just say if you go to Trader Joe's and you're purchasing some Asian cuisine, you might
so wrong
find some very strange branding, we'll say. Regardless, you're going to want to just sprinkle the arugula on there. And, you know, just take a little chunk. This is more up to the person. I like a lot. You know, maybe you have the gene where it tastes like soap. And to that, I would say you can't let your body hold you back from enjoying things. You should eat it anyway, okay? Listen, you think I like arugula? No. I mean, to me, it tastes like complete crap. But it's part of being a chef, okay? It's about the, you know, the display. It's about the visuals. You know, it's about the accoutrements of the meal. So, you know, you got to put this on top. And then, you know, once you have a nice, even display, you take your glaze, you know, you shake it up a bit. Okay, this is the most important part. Okay, this is what the customers come in the door for right here. Okay, it's in this bottle. You take this, you open it up, and this is what you're gonna do. Okay, this is very important. Just a little drizzle. Okay, this is called the Chef Will Special. Little drizzle, and maybe depending on how the customer likes it, if it's real, if it's a saucy individual, maybe you do a little bonus. Maybe a little 1-2. I don't know. Listen, that depends on the person. So you got 2 pies here. You're going to want to do 2 of these. And maybe a little heavy on this one.
Yeah, it's balsamic glaze. I like balsamic vinegar way too much. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why.
A little balsamic glaze, and there you have 2. Count them. How do you turn it around?
You almost were there.
Yeah. 2 delicious pizza pies made fresh at home. I mean, my goodness. Take a look, take a gander at that. Have you ever in your life seen something so stunning, so delicious? I mean, and yet so sweet and delicate, you know? I mean, what a beautiful sight. It's like looking at a painting, really. I mean, my God, look at that. I mean, you can see all the layers, you can see all the craftsmanship, the work that went in to this meal. I mean, you can see it all in there. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when you. Oh, sorry. I was just looking. Okay, so you've got your 2 pies, right? And now you got to serve them up, right? So because you put the oil on, these puppies aren't sticking. Okay, and maybe you got to go into the bonus drawer to get a plate. You know, this is what we like to call the bonus drawer. So,
Where are you getting that from? Tell them.
oh, the bonus drawer.
But what exactly is that?
Dishwasher?
And who's in charge of the dishes of the kitchen?
Listen, the chef is in charge of the dishes, of course. Everybody knows that. But listen, when the chef's busy making a meal, I mean, he doesn't have time to go in and painstakingly take every little plate, every little fork, every piece out and put it in its spot. I mean, I'm busy. I got things to do. I have meals to cook. Do you see how delicious this pizza is? I mean, come on. You're talking crazy talk. Oh, no, I dropped something. So, you can serve up the pizzas. Oh, wait. The extra large spatula. This one will do. Okay. If you're watching this at home, you're going to want to get the biggest spatula you have. But me, a trained professional, even the smallest spatula, I can take this and make it do. You know what I mean? So you take your first pizza pie. You know, it's going to be very hot, but me, trained chef, I can just go like, boom, doesn't even bother me. It doesn't even bother me. So you take your first pizza. It might be sticking a tiny bit depending on the oil distribution that you did with the paper towel. But if all goes according to plan, there should be not even a little bit of tinfoil on the bottom. Some people like a little bit, but me personally, I like to make sure there's no tinfoil on the bottom of it. So hot. Oh my God. Okay, perfect. No tinfoil on the bottom. So then you're going to need one of these. And you're going to take this and I'm talking even strokes. And it's going to make a really loud screeching sound for those at home with, maybe you have sensitive hearing. So you're going to want to maybe mute. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to mute. And you're going to cut this puppy up. This is a very... Take that, you got half, and then you're going to want to cut it. I like to do 4s for a nice personal pie. If you're doing like I've done it all, 12-inch, 20-inch, whatever it takes, whatever.
You've done it all, 12-inch, 20-inch.
Pizzas, okay?
Yeah.
Stop. Again with the bathroom humor, okay? I can't take much more of it. So then you got your pie right there, cut into 4s, and this is when you serve it. You serve it up. Here you go.
Thank you.
I will do mine next.
Chef, there's no arugula on one of my pieces. Is there any way I could send this back and get some arugula on? might be.
Getting rude.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. Did you get it? No,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, no, I got it.
I was gonna take a giant handful and just throw it on there, but it seemed very rude at the time. I only did it like half a handful, maybe a couple pieces. Okay, so you got that. Once again, maybe mute the stream. Just a heads up. It's going to be a terrible sound. I mean, just horrendous. It's going to be just frightening even. I mean, listen, you're not going to want to hear this. It's going to be bad. So you get that. I mean, I used to think only a dog could hear that sound, to be completely honest with you. Me, I tune it out because I've made so many pizzas in my day, but you take that, 4 slices, nice personal pie, right at home. And that's that, you know? Delicious.